Welcome to another episode of Times Square Kung Fu. I am your host, Frankie Balboa, aka the Shogun Supreme, man. Y'all know the deal, y'all know the vibes. What's the vibes for today? I'm going to be reviewing the action sci-fi thriller from 2022, Project Wolf Hunting, which comes out on Blu-ray February 14 by the fantastic folks over at Wellgo USA. I'd like to give a massive shout out to the crew and staff over at Wellgo USA that provided me a copy of Project Wolf Hunting to review for you guys for this video. You know what I'm saying? Now in this video, I'm going to be talking about the fight, the audio, and the picture quality. So let's get on to this episode on this amazing film that was my favorite action film of last year. Let's get to it. After I saw Project Wolf Hunting last year over the summer, 3 films came to my mind ASAP. That is The Night Come For Us, Universal Soldier, Day of Reckoning, and the original Predator. After you see this bloody, grimy film, you understand why I mentioned those 3 films. If you guys haven't seen any of those films, man, y'all better get straight to it, man. Y'all got some homework to do. Now, the story of Project Wolf Hunting is pretty straightforward at the start. You have a bunch of fugitives being extradited back to South Korea from the Philippines. They are being transported in a boat due to security reasons. But also on this boat, you have a super soldier named Alpha, who is in a sleep state being looked after the government. Of course, the police and the prisoners don't know anything about this. Now, while the prisoners are all, chilling, chopping it up, they plan to take over the boat. And while attempting this, a riot breaks out with the police, and throughout all this chaos, the beast awakens. Now, the director of this film, Kim Song, dabbles in genres like crime, action, mystery, and the supernatural. Films like The Con Artist, which is a heist film, Traffickers, which is an organ trafficking operation that takes place in a boat in international waters, and is also streaming in Haya. But man, this director loves both. You got The Chase, about a landlord and a former detective trying to solve a 30-year-old case, and Metamorphosis, which is like a Exorcist type film. Now, using his love for those type of genres, you get to see him put that all together for this film. It's like he went in and decided to do one banging mixtape, because the start of the film feels like a prison breakout type film. Then it turns into sci-fi horror, and then into action sci-fi. The way he managed to put that all together and not make the plot confusing or make the film drag, it is something I have to give props to the director for. Because some Korean action films tends to drag when it hits the middle of the film. Something like The Villainous, which I still love, and The Witch Part 2. Now, throughout this video, you guys heard me mention how the action is brutal, grimy, and bloody as hell. Well, I'm about to show you guys some examples of what y'all getting into. Pause. Yo, homeboy went straight Mike Tyson on this fool. Yo, you couldn't snap his neck or none of that, Brody? Damn. This dude talking about, I'm gonna take a bite out of crime, son. You for real? Yo, man, that's only a fraction of what you see in this movie, man. There's way more grimy and stuff than what you guys saw right there, man. But in order for, action scenes to sell you on it, it's the sound design, man. I'm about to get into it right now, man. Oh my God. Oh man. Still recovering from the previous scene, man. But you heard me talk about how great the sound design in this film is. And when you have good sound design and great surround sound, it makes the film way more immersive and those action scenes very impactful. And the sound of this film, it is very detailed, layered, and crisp. Jesus, man, that is one of my favorite sounding runs in the film in a long time. It just sells you on the impact and the menacing nature of this freaking, Alpha character, man. It sounds so good, and it uses the subwoofers very nice. Not too aggressive, but it sounds really good. Really enjoyed the way this scene sounded, like especially on 5.1 or Atmos setup. You get to hear all the channels being used. You actually feel like the bullets are whizzing by you. It's very detailed, the way the bullets impact on the bodies and the freaking environment. They did a great job. It's crisp, clear, not overly too loud, exaggerated, and they freaking definitely knocked it apart with that mix right there. Now, this Blu-ray from Well Go USA comes with a DTS Master Audio track in 5.1 and a Dolby Digital mix in Korean and English. The dialogue is clear and the score sounds amazing, which occupies your surround sound speakers throughout the entire film. During action scenes, you mostly get usage out of your surround sound channels when there's a gunfight or environmental sounds like rain, but not so much during fights. Like for example, like me and my friend, we were discussing about it. We wish when Alpha was chasing people down, they would have used the rear speakers and transitioned that sound all the way to the front speakers just to add more flavor to its menacing speed. But regardless of the little pet peeve, they make up with some nice audio transitions from the front speakers, center, and left, and they just swing so nice. It sounds amazing regardless of your sound setup. But there's a clever usage of your surround sound channels in this film, and that in certain dialogue scenes, which is lacking in the English dub, which I will do a comparison in a second. And believe it or not, folks, believe it or not, some people like watching the foreign films with the English dub is available. I mean, come on, who didn't see Cowboy Bebop with the English dub, man? Like everybody, even the Japanese love the English dub, man. That Spike was so good. I mean, the entire anime was amazing. But besides that, regardless, I highly recommend watching this film with the original language because of what I mentioned earlier with the surround sound mix. So now let me show you guys some examples and break it down for y'all. Now, as soon as the camera cuts to her and she's turning around, the older guy that's being worked on, you start hearing him in the rear channel speakers. And a few moments later, she starts having, a conversation with someone else. While that dialogue exchange is happening, you hear her and the other person. You could hear it in the front channel speakers, while the other guy, you could still hear him in the rear channel speakers. There's a few more moments like this in this film, but that is something that's lacking in the English dub. But the English dub still has the multi-channel sound of the gunfights, the environment, and the music. I'll probably do another video so you guys could hear the English dub to see if you find it satisfactory for all you English dub fans out there. Now I'm going to show you guys the picture quality of this film. One of the best decisions I think the filmmakers went with is adding a touch of film grain. The film grain adds to the gritty nature of the film. It just makes it pop more. I like the color choices they went with. It's not overly exaggerated with the red, blues, greens, and the brown. It's not too much like you see in other films. I didn't notice anything out of the ordinary with the picture quality. I mean, I didn't notice any crushed blacks or artifacts. So I mean, the film looked really good and very sharp at times. Now, when I take screen caps of films with film grain, it might seem a little off on YouTube, but trust me, when you see this in person, it looks very, very solid. And Well Go USA is known for the encoding and also the audio, man. So they have some great wizards over there. Now, you guys need to do me a favor, like a super favor. You need to show this film to your friends, man, because seeing and experiencing their expressions watching this film with the crazy violence and the dumb decisions, man, it's gonna it's like you're gonna enjoy this film even more, man. And for me, that's part of the movie experience, man, watching it with friends and everybody wilding out. And once again, massive props to the amazing folks over at Well Go USA for providing me a copy to review for this channel. There'll be more reviews like this going forward, so you guys already know. And as always, like, share, and subscribe. And until the next one, peace.